Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode of the S-Class. Let us see what is contained in today's knowledge pill. Cacao, one of my favorites. Let's get rid of this one. So, cacao is the name of the Theobroma Cacao plant from which all the forms of cacao obviously are derived. The plant produces a seed which is also called cacao bean, and it looks like this. They have a peel around them. You can actually peel them and make a mess everywhere. This is what they look inside. What happens from this to what we know as chocolate? The beans are usually fermented, in some cases toasted, and then blended into a sort of paste called cacao liqueur. This one right here. This is how I sell it in these nice blocks, and inside it looks something like this. So cacao liqueur has nothing to do with alcohol. It is the paste made from blended cacao beans. Then once this is produced, the fat can be pressed out, and that is what we know as cacao butter. I have a big one. The aspect of it is like this. It's the white part. This is 100% fat from cacao. What is left then from this mixture is the cacao powder. Here we have it. Now, when the beans are not toasted, we talk about raw cacao, and this is what we have over here. As you can see, it is slightly lighter in color compared to the toasted cacao. The smell and the taste is a bit more grassy, but very, very, very pleasant. Obviously, I am biased because I like chocolate a lot. From the beans, we can also crush them and obtain little pieces which are known as cacao nibs. Usually these are found raw and they look like this. Cacao nibs, being obviously just beans which are crushed in pieces, are very bitter. So they are not a replacement of chocolate chips, and they don't even melt because they have a high percentage of carbohydrates coming from the cacao powder. They have, in fact, a low percentage of fat, and therefore, if you use them in baking, they don't melt. What they can be used for many times is, for example, in muesli or granola bars, where there is no need for the pieces to melt. Cacao is very rich in minerals like magnesium, manganese, and even iron. Obviously, the raw one is better for health than the toasted one, as we know that when we cook and toast products, they lose part of their properties in the process. Also, when we are talking about chocolate itself, although the cacao part is very healthy for us, the chocolate bars often contain a very high percentage of sugar, so this is not an excuse to eat a whole chocolate bar. I always prefer making my own chocolate, so I know exactly what I put in. I can choose my own sweetener. I can make it in the way I like. This is a chocolate bar, or what's left of it, that I made a few days ago, and this one in particular is sweetened with erythritol, which is one of my favorite sweeteners. One day we will talk about sweeteners and I will explain why I like it so much. One question that I often receive is, what is the difference between cacao and cocoa? The term cocoa doesn't really have a real definition. Cacao is the plant. Usually cocoa is used to describe the powder coming from the cacao plant. Although some use cocoa to describe powder which has been toasted. So the differentiation is between raw cacao and toasted cocoa. This is not really a legal definition of any sort, so it's quite used in a loose way. I don't feel that I can give you a real difference between one and the other. I can just tell you what it is used for in general. I think that's it for today. See you next time.